Welcome back to VID Machine. You're watching the Sly Guy, Kaboom, Kaboom, and Super Kaboom, oh yeah. Kaboom, oh yeah, Kaboom, oh yeah. Here we go, here we go. It's a man, it's a plan. With the dual lance, demonic tutor, and soul ring. Dual lands are coming in. We've got the plateau and the badlands and the taiga, oh yeah. I have offended you again, so I guess this is the end. Because everybody knows you're such a snowflake and you're just quite upset at every single thing we said. Everybody knows it's all just in your head. Wasted, feeling the wind speaking. You know why you've crossed the line when I said that you were mine. The wind skiing, no hard feelings. Since you will not be my girl, this is the end of my own. Welcome back, guys, to another episode of VID Machine with the Sly Guy. And right now, we're going to be covering OGL 1.1 by Wizards of the Coast. Why they backed out and made a bunch of lame-ass excuses. Vince McMahon and the rumored sale to Saudi Arabia. Why it got debunked so fast, and why I think something shady is going on in the background. And how similar is this to OGL 1.1? Okay, so with Wizards of the Coast, they released a new version of the Open Gaming License. Now, the Open Gaming License allows Dungeons and Dragons creators to use existing Dungeons and Dragons stories, expand on them, continue them, write about them, and publish them online. And normally, these creators make money off them publishing these articles. Now, Wizards of the Coast wanted to monetize Dungeons and Dragons more, so in the leaked revised version of the Open Game License 1.1, what they did was they added a clause there saying that all publishers have to report their earnings, all publishers have to submit all their creations to Wizards of the Coast, and the Wizards of the Coast is free to use their work for free without giving the creators any royalties. So this pissed off a lot of Dungeons and Dragons fans and players. And now, because even I didn't know that there was a subscription service for Dungeons and Dragons, it's like one D&D where you gain access to all their content online for $8 a month. 35,000 people decided to cancel. And so times $8 monthly times 12. Can you imagine how much Wizards lost just because of this nonsense that they're putting? It's like Chris Cox and Cynthia Williams weren't thinking when they did this. I mean, man, now that the players hit them where it hurts the most, which is their wallets, so now they're expected to react or come up with an reaction. Now, of course, based on experience, big-time companies, okay, once they come up with a decision like this, they don't change it. So, from my point of view, what they're going to do is they're going to wait it out. They're going to wait for the player anger to subside. Then, eventually, they're going to release it slowly. Okay, because you know how people are right now. They forget quite easily. They've got short memory span. We have really, really short memories. So they'll forget about it, and then they're slowly gonna bring it back until eventually they charge the players, because that's how corporate greed works and that's how companies work. Next up, Vince McMahon and the alleged WWE sale. Okay, so last year, Vince McMahon had another sex scandal, and it was discovered that he was using WWE company funds, to silence the people that he offended. So he was using, I think he spent like $3 million per person which is insane. I mean, Vince McMahon is truly the archetype of all evil. Now, during the time when he resigned, and during the time that Stephanie and Triple H were running the company, I ask you this question. Does anybody know what Vince McMahon was doing? Anyone? Write it in the comment section below. Because even I don't know what he was doing during that time. Now, the series of events is very suspicious. Okay, Vince McMahon says that he's going to be returning to the WWE. Okay, sure, fine. He's returning. No problem. He's going to be returning. And Stephanie decides to resign as CEO. Why? And then Nick Khan becomes CEO. Which is strange. Why not Triple H? Why Nick Khan? Of all people. So, it leads to a question. It begs the question that, or people are suspicious that maybe, okay, Vince was doing a deal with a Saudi group, and then they said, hey, yeah, sure, we'll buy the WWE for $8 billion, where Vince McMahon gets $3 billion, but we don't want a female CEO, so we'll replace it with a male CEO with an Arab-sounding last name. So that might actually, okay, see, so that why everybody was currently suspicious. And look at the lineup of the people buying the WWE. You've got Comcast, you've got Netflix, you've got Disney, you've got Fox, which is also owned by Disney. I mean, then the Saudi group, I mean, right, and there's even this other company that owns UFC, Endeavor, who owns UFC, which makes sense because these guys are media companies, but the Saudi group doesn't quite fit there. I mean, what are they even doing there? I mean, why do they have a TV deal in the US? I mean, they don't actually fit in the picture, which makes it suspicious. So, our suspicion is that because of course, Dave Meltzer, when he releases news, I mean, 9 out of 10 times, most of Meltzer's stuff that he releases is spot on. I very, very rarely get an unconfirmed report. Maybe there was this one report about Thunder Rosa, which was fake news from Meltzer, but the rest of it is basically spot on. So my suspicion is that there was a deal with Saudi. It was announced. Vince did not expect the backlash from the wrestlers, from the fans, from everyone. So in order to calm them down, just like OGL 1.1 with Wizards of the Coast, he said, oh, no, there's no deal with the Saudis. And now there's this rumor, okay, that Tony Khan from AEW wants to buy WWE. I mean, why all of a sudden? And then Tony Khan is gonna have a third-party investor who's gonna invest. So who's that third-party investor gonna be? Right? Because it can't be Disney, because Disney is losing money. Their stocks have fallen. Okay, their stocks have dropped because Bob Iger continues with his wake movie methodology, and they've been losing money. Their parks have been losing money, movies have been losing money. And basically, Fox is owned by Disney, so they're on the same boat. Netflix has been losing money. They're too busy making, like, All of Us Are Dead and Stranger Things, that acquiring WWE will be very, very difficult if it's going to be on a streaming-only platform, since wrestling is no longer mainstream in many countries. So I don't think it's going to be beneficial for them. Endeavor is already using UFC. So with UFC in the networks, I mean, most people, I mean, why put pro wrestling and UFC in one channel? Most people are going to watch UFC. So that basically leads to the question of what's going to happen to the WWE. My guess is yes. Okay, the sale to Saudi will continue because they're the only ones who have that money, but it will be done silently using another proxy person like Tony Khan to make it look like the Saudi group didn't buy WWE, but secretly Saudi funds will be used. Tony Khan, AW, yeah, sure, Triple H is there, but then you're gonna notice that there are gonna be more shows in Saudi, more stars coming to Saudi. But we're gonna say, but no, the Saudi group didn't buy WWE. That's a false. We're just having more shows to Crown Jewel to make more blah blah blah. And then next year's WrestleMania will also be in Saudi. So that's another thing. So yeah, just my 2 cents on it. So we've had some posts online, and basically in nowhere in those posts did I say that the sale has been finalized, but you have trigger happy people saying, no, check your facts, here, they didn't sell it to Saudi yet, blah blah blah. And I said no. In the post just simply said there is a chance that they might sell it to Saudi. The deal hasn't been closed yet, but there's a chance. And then everybody thinks, no, he says they sold it to Saudi. Come on, he didn't sell to Saudi. He didn't. Here's the facts. Check your facts. Blah, blah, blah. So trigger happy because these guys, okay, they don't like Saudi one bit. And the post was in Tagalog, so I don't think they understand Tagalog very much, even though they're from the Philippines. I don't know. But anyway, once again, this is the Idea Machine. Sly Guy. Hope you enjoyed this new soul ring, this demonic tutor, the two bad lands, and the plateaus. You have a wonderful evening. Bow.